from the Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL9 News at 8 a.m.
Live in our Red Room, Dr. John West is here. He's going to talk to us about the push for women to start getting annual mammograms sooner. Soon, we'll be talking to him just after the break. It's recommended that women start getting annual mammograms at the age of 50. But joining me now is Surgeon John West, who is pushing for that recommendation to be moved up to the age of 40. And Dr. West is with BreastLink. And good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Of course, you focus so much on early detection and early treatment. And to hear that they want women to wait until they're 50, I have to say, it kind of blows my mind because I was not 50 when I was diagnosed, and while I was getting treated, I met a lot of women who were under 50. So if we waited,
in my practice, this is common, and in fact, it's about 20% of the women are under 50, but more years of life are lost for women who are diagnosed in their 40s and all the years of life lost after 50, because these young women have so much life ahead of them, so we must catch it. And if they change these guidelines, and the guidelines are based on faulty data, but if they change them to 50, young women will die needlessly, young children will grow up without a mother. It's a tragedy, and we can't let it happen, and that's why we're trying to fight back.
Oftentimes, is it when women are diagnosed earlier, is the cancer a little more aggressive oftentimes, or do they just get treated more aggressively because of their age?
Both, but the cancers in general tend to be a little more aggressive cancers. But if you match cancer for cancer, stage for stage, type for type, young women actually have a better immune system, and they seem to do a little bit better in general. Maybe it's they tolerate the chemotherapy better or whatever, but it's a disease of young women, and we need to fight back. And I should mention that Mayo Clinic and the National Comprehensive Cancer Network, the top quality force in the United States to talk about guidelines and care, recommend starting yearly at 40. So it's only this doggone government committee made up of primary care doctors that have a very strong bias against early detection. It's hard for me to imagine anybody could do that because the data strongly supports starting yearly at 40. And we don't want women to start their self-exam at age 21 and report a change because they're not getting mammograms until 40. So we need a whole full-blown approach to a strategy for early detection. And the great thing now is with 3D imaging now, screening ultrasounds, MRI, risk assessment, we put all these things together and we can put a major dent in breast cancer mortality. We can cut it by 70, 80% if we can really put all these factors, these things together. And the key is early detection. You catch it early, your survival rate is way higher. You don't need to have the chemo most of the time. You can do an outpatient lumpectomy. So everything is in favor of early detection. And yet this government committee, if we don't do something about it, it goes into effect the end of this year. And if we don't block it, the insurance companies get an excuse to stop paying.
Wow. And so for so long, women started at 40. It could in fact change. But what if someone had, you know, maybe a woman was tested in her 40s, had maybe dense breast tissue, which often leads, very common, but also increases your risk of breast cancer.
Well, it's not just a risk factor, but it makes it harder to detect breast cancer. So one of the things this committee point out is women in their 40s have dense breasts, and so the mammogram doesn't work so well. Well, in fact, that's true. But now we know that if we add screening ultrasound, we double the pickup of small cancers. And for the high-risk women, we add MRI, and it is the very best test of detecting little bitty cancer. So we have to, rather than say start at 50, because women have dense breasts in their 40s, the logical thing is to have those women receive a three-dimensional mammogram and a screening ultrasound. And if you do that, we're going to do even better in early detection, and we're going to save even more lives. So we're taking a step backwards with these new guidelines, and we just can't let that happen.
What can women do, real quick before we let you go, the 40 not 50, what can we do to push for this?
Well, we have a website, 40not50.org, and they can sign our petition. We need 1 million signatures. We got a long ways to go, but we want every woman out there to write this down, go to the website, sign the petition, and then get on their, send it to all their friends, put it on Facebook and all Snapchat, whatever.
There's so many social
I can't keep up with them. At my age, I don't even try.
But get on there and let people know how important
Get
it is.
the word
40,
out.
not 50.
Women must fight back. This is a big battle, and we all have to join this battle together. And guys can sign it too.
Okay, perfect. Dr. John West, thank you so much for being here this morning. And we do have a link to the 40not50.org. It's on our website, KCAL9.com. Just click Seen on TV.